Hey guys, Monk2 here of course, and today we're covering a crazy Atlanta game. Now, this was during my epic quest to try and achieve the 20 fires, and if you guys really want to get those 20 fires, easiest way is simply with a Cleveland. Don't run EOP and just set 2 fires and ships, then move on. Really, that's all you need to do. Cleveland's a very static playstyle, so we just find a central position, hide behind the island, and spam away. Atlanta doesn't have the range that Cleveland does, so it's not actually that ideal for it. But it is ideal for getting quite a number of shell hits. So yeah, any American light cruiser was great getting the fires. And yeah, when it comes to Japanese cruisers, you're probably more likely to get kills and high damage numbers over the fires because your alpha is so much greater than the other nations. Because you just hit like a truck, and if you're hitting tons of different targets, you just accumulate so much damage. It's going to be insane. You can still feasibly do it with the Japanese cruisers. It's just a lot harder because you don't have the same fire rate, which you're just not seeing number of fires. Not to say the Japanese cruisers are bad; they're very good. It's just a different kettle of fish. Now, I have been playing with my division mate here. This is Mr. Mash and his Atlanta as well. We thought we'd go double Atlanta and just try and get a number of shell hits. Maybe get fires too, but you never know. So, Atlanta's pretty static in its playstyle if you're playing it correctly. So, being in the central cap here, contesting it, making sure that no one can actually capture this point, allowing our other DDs to capture AC is what we're going for right now. What I'm going for at least. And because I'm in the central point, like I stated before, if you was in Cleveland, I would just be setting fires left, right, and centre on whatever I want to set fires on, really. When you get a central position in these kind of ships, you just get some good results. Unfortunately, we do get spotted by a plane. Atlanta should have Monster AA, but it doesn't really have Monster AA, but we're just going to go accelerate behind the island to get some cover, and shoot some line of sight here. I think he does take for hiring explosive shots, that does. Okay, no, I missed a second, that's fine. Yeah, we're just going to keep creeping behind the island. The fact that we're here is stopping those destroyers from creeping out and doing anything important, and you see the importance of the central position in any ship really. You can do it in a destroyer, you can do it in a battleship, a cruiser. You can get away with it. It's not easy to get away with it, but if you can get away with it, you can get some really good results. So we're just pestering this poor New Mexico, and we're backing up to get a little bit of cover and to shoot over the California and other targets, because we're pretty close to the island by Atlanta standards, and that is a pretty big island. It's going to be tough to shoot through it, so we should back up a little bit. But I don't want to back up too much because we get spotted, and the further we back up means they can shoot us too. I believe that's also in Atlanta. Yes, it is. So he can hit me, I can hit him, but obviously he has the advantage of not being spotted. Atlanta A should be shooting down these planes, but simply does not have the range, so a little bit upsetting, and kind of wish it had more range, but oh well. Anyway, we do set some fires. Our division mate Mash burns down what's left of New Mexico. We're just about to cap, and it's probably destroyed. Now, I could pop the radar here. I don't need to, which is nice because the DE does get spotted here. But in case he goes dark, it's definitely worth off the radar because I believe... No, there's no reason actually at the minute. There's no reason. I take that back. Radar's great and it's useful, but spotting a ship is great, but simply having the ability to spot it and do nothing about it is not very effective. So it does give you information that's great, but realistically, when you radar something, you want to make sure that at least like 1 or 2 ships can take advantage of that radar. That's why people wait at radars, people bait at radars. You want to be in a position where you can actually damage the said ship when you're radaring. So that's why I didn't pop the radar there. There's no actual reason for you to do it, there's just no ships that are in a position to actually shoot at him back. Now, I'm in a division here, so we could afford to say waste a radar on that. And I'm not sure 100% what happened this match. This is recorded after the fight. It could be that my division mate has already radar, so I don't know. But yeah, generally when you radar something, you either radar for simply the fact to wonder where they are, and my reason most of the time is actually to kill or damage enough said target enough to where he's no longer affected. So yeah, that's what I usually use the radar for that. Anyway, California is being spammed. He's running at range, which is exactly the right thing to do when you're fighting Atlanta. And we're just going to stay here. We're going to pester him, and then we're going to switch fire over to the Ioba. Spreading fire right now is starting to be good, but remember we're off a number of shell hits here, so we're just getting as much reliable hits as possible. And say what you want about the California, it is gigantic in terms of being thick in both the two C's, you know. So, you know, heading that over an agile Ioba is, yeah, you're gonna hit the California much more, you know. It's not exactly the fastest either, you know. Anyway, we're gonna switch fire off to the Ioba because California is basically at range, and you see it's just much harder to hit things in Atlanta at this range. And max range is almost nigh impossible, and when you buff the range, you're not helping yourself too much, you know. You're getting a little bit more fire, but it doesn't help as much as people would think. This is why, if you've seen Euro's video on the Atlanta for Legends, buffing range is not something he's done. He's gone for the extra fire chance, which again is not a bad idea. And yeah, it's preferable, really is. Sometimes the range can be pretty annoying, and having the extra range does help, because even at max range you can probably still comfortably hit some battleships, assuming you are predictive of where they're going to be. Also, ripple firing does help get your aiming going, and if you don't have that, you can always do the single fire if you're more comfortable, because it does catch the enemy off guard a little bit more. So we're going to pass this Atlanta here. We're going to reach out, be a bit more ballsy, so to speak. The only thing that can shoot me right now is another Atlanta, so it's pretty even. Probably similar health pool, but he's a little bit lower. And there is an Algerie who's basically a one shot or a one salvo for the Atlanta. So we're just going to do what we can to try and kill him. And then we're going to push this Atlanta once we have the right position for it. Now, we finish off the Algerie. Yeah, definitely worth finishing him off. And now we're going to harass the Atlanta from stealth, which is way better. Again, cruisers, you want to take the unfair engagements. You want to do as much damage as possible without taking any damage in return. Or if you aren't going to take damage, reduce the amount of damage you take by a significant margin. Now, here, risky, but we are going to move forward. By the time he turns and sets up the salvo, I'll probably be away. He has to give lead to shoot me now, and he just simply does not have that build to do so. As you can see, we're already dark before he turns his guns, and we can still keep pestering him. Positioning in Atlanta is a really good thing. It's something we all should use to learn. Atlanta is a really good learning tool, and that was a bit of a misfire there. Make friends of the island. It's a really good tool to learn things from. But yeah, this game does get pretty meaty, so it gets pretty memey, so be aware of that, and it's not going to be all full sound strategy and tactics, you know. Sometimes you just gotta have some fun, you know? Sometimes. So, we're getting aggressive here, we're getting pretty ballsy. My division mate's rushing him, and I thought, okay, I'll join in the fun. Obviously, there's no need for this. We're winning by heavily, and there's no reason for us to rush this King George, but we're gonna rush him anyway, because why not? It's for the memes, you know? For the memes. So, Mr. Mash is rushing him in his Atlanta. He's already set torpedoes off. Unfortunately, he did miss them. And we're just going to switch to AP here, because he's giving us a relative broadside aim right through superstructure. We're going to switch back to HE because he did actually angle in the wrong time. He does kill Mr. Friend Mash, and we will try our best to get the avenging shot. Then we're going to turn around, we're going to give him the best possible situation to get our other set of torpedoes off, just in case. And remember here, folks, Atlanta, you gotta give as much broadside as possible if you want to get overpinned. He's not got much health left, but we're gonna fire the torpedoes just in case he kills us. I'm switching to AP again. Here we go. Give as much broadside as possible. Oh, okay, the torpedoes get him. Alright, okay. Alright, Mash gave up his life to get rid of this guy, so we're gonna make worth it. Friedrich, okay, we can't, it's not good dangling against Friedrich. So let's give as much broadside as possible. Ooh, okay, we were lucky there. We still got overpained. That was nice. We had to give as much broadside as possible. AP, he's giving a flat broadside. At this point, we're just going to go, well, to put it frankly, something inappropriate and going very deep down, you know. If you catch my drift. New apologies. Apologies for that, folks. But yeah, you're just asserting your dominance. Really, you're being pretty oh, what's the word for it now? Pretty aggressive. That's all I'll use because this is YouTube after all. So yeah, being pretty aggressive and just asserting your dominance over this free trick. If you get broadside Atlanta, the chances of you getting overpained by a battleship, even with these caliber guns that are still small by battleship standards, are still very high. So, you know, we could keep behind the island, we could do this, but no, we're gonna show him who's boss. We're gonna keep the AP on because why not? We're gonna switch it off because he's heavily angled actually. But yeah, we just fired a salvo AP just to assert some dominance to show him I've got more AP, I've got more guns than he does, and I fire faster, you know. Just gonna assert my dominance again. Here we go, 7,000 health. We're just gonna stay broadside to him. We're gonna show him what's what. This is basically, or at least was, a nearly full health Friedrich. Switch these to AP. Well, did you just bounce me, sir? Or did you overpay me? I don't even know. But I'm giving you as much broadside as possible, because even if you do hit me, come here. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Let's go. Yeah, Friedrich. Yeah, so we're just going to keep pestering him, and again, we can 100% afford to be BB as anything. I fully expect to die here, but why not? Let's go on, let's go for it. It's all fun and games. It's a game after all. Let's enjoy it. So he's given up on the HE and the AP, and he's gone to HE. Fortunately, his accuracy does fail me. Fail him. He loses a gun turret, so we're severely crippled. You know, how many guns we got firing again? Wait, oh, that's 6. 6 guns? Oh yeah, okay, never mind. So dominance shall be continued to be asserted. We're just ripping this thing a new one, and yeah, what was a full health Friedrich is really being brutalized. I run EOP in this thing, and it's paying off dividends right now. Yeah, EOP or not, you're still gonna set some fires if you hit that ship that many times. And that is him out of there. And we didn't get an arsonist because, not because we didn't do enough fire damage, well, because we didn't do enough. Because the shells we hit just penned and did a lot more. We switched to AP and the HE does pen a lot more. So, didn't actually get that much fire damage, so we didn't get the arsehole award, as I like to call it. So yeah, pretty darn crazy Atlanta game. Just goes to show you how weakly armored the Atlanta is, and, you know, it's... if you're giving a broadside like that at that range, it's basically a Wichita, you know. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, 141,000, and I think that's 6 fires. I don't even know. It's like what? I don't think he's happy with how ballsy I was in this game. So yeah, goes to show you EOP is incredibly effective on the Atlanta, and the pen damage you can rack up is pretty insane, especially if you switch to AP on the broadside targets. So yeah, that's the Atlanta craziness for you folks. I did hope you enjoyed this very much. So yeah, 6 fires, 605 hits, 2.6k XP, and yeah, Mash didn't do not too shabby himself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.